Hello, friends. Welcome back to The Brightst again. I am your host, Mr. Bright. I think we are at war. And oh Lord, is that the US versus China? But wait a minute. If a war were to happen between the two countries, who would win? Which country has the most powerful military or more advanced technology? Well, if you don't have the answer, then don't worry when Mr. Bright is here. Lame, I know, I'm sorry. But do you know what's worse? Well, did you know that the Chinese have like sheep penis, tuna eyeballs, and all that for food? I know I shouldn't be cringing, but ew. And you'll be shocked to know that the Chinese work almost twice as many hours as Americans. Yeah, on a regular basis. And that too is voluntary. Well, in today's episode of Mr. Bright, we are going to dig down deep into the strengths and weaknesses of these two countries to understand the major differences between the two. And oh, of course, also answer the most awaited question. Who is mightier? China or the USA? So now, let the war begin. In today's video titled China versus USA, the war. Number 1, food. This war is getting intense already, and I'm feeling very hungry, aren't you? So let's check out the menu. What do we have?
Sheep penis or chicken testicles?
No way. What? No way. Ew.
Okay then, what about bird's nest soup or snake soup?
Friends, you heard this man? Wondering where I am and whose menu is that? Ta-da! It's China. Well, this is what everyday food in China looks like. Like they literally can eat any insect that's crawling on the walls. No kidding. And what the hell is bird's nest soup? Well, bird's nest soup is not made from twig, but they're made from the hardened saliva of swiftlets' nests and dissolved in a broth. There is no shortage of variety. If you see China's what's on the menu, you'll see that their food variations are just crazy. Really, you will find most of the Chinese dishes are rice and noodle based, and they are paired with the weirdest food items ever. Yeah, like balut, chicken testicles, live octopuses, to crocodiles, snake soup, and the most infamous bat soup. I'm sure you remember that. The Chinese can really just have anything and everything under the sun. And what is that smell? Do I smell chicken fried steak coming from America? I want one too. Let's check out America's menu. For breakfast, there are eggs, bacon, cereal, and donuts. For lunch, there's Cobb salad, pot roast, jambalaya, and baked beans. Also for dinner, there are baked and mashed potatoes, rice, macaroni and cheese, and beans. And yep, America is not just all about junk food. It is also about good food too. And as you can see, so what would you love to have? Let us know in the comments section below. Number 2, travel. Now, Mr. Bright has 2 tickets to the Philippines and 2 lucky draw winners. One is Tom Cruise from the USA and Jackie Chan from China. Let's move ahead to board our flight. At the airport, gate number 3. Wait, show me your passport.
Stop it.
Chinese not allowed. First apply for visa. What? Are you kidding? China happens to be the 45th strongest passport in the world. Sorry, bro. Even though China happens to have the 45th strongest passport, it still can't travel to some places like the Philippines, Greenland, Australia, Canada, etc. As being the 45th number makes them eligible to travel to only 56 countries. Well, guys, just imagine. If China is the 45th number, then where does a country like the USA stand? Well, it stands way above and way ahead of China. The USA has the 4th strongest passport in the world, and the US people can travel to 169 countries. But you know what? About 42% of Americans don't have a passport at all.
What?
This is an absolute waste of the 4th strongest passport benefits that have actually been thrown your way. What's the use if they're not going to use it? Are you two wondering what might be the reason? Well, the thing is, the US has almost everything that any person would want to see. So for the majority of Americans, there's no need to travel outside of America. They just travel around America. And that's why the US has more demand for domestic travel, baby. People in the US mostly travel to California, Texas, Florida, and New York. And talking about China, clearly the opposite of the US. Here, people have fewer countries to travel to, yet these Chinese travel to their fullest. Chinese people love traveling to Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Singapore, the Maldives, Malaysia, and others. So who do you think is the actual winner, strongest passport winner here? Number 3, education. Yi Zheng Yi Si, i.e. ABC in Chinese, plus this, i.e. 1, 2, 3 in Chinese, is free in China. Yes, the very strict Chinese government never takes education for granted. For them, education is the key to success. And to make sure that they achieve success, Xi Jinping's Chinese government has a state-funded education system that is compulsory between the ages of 6 to 15. Why? Because for the Chinese people, education is of the utmost importance, and also a person's value is based on the level of education they receive. Furthermore, Chinese students get into the best universities, and this country has some of the best universities in the world. Well, these Chinese are hell-bent on giving a tough competition to their opponent, the US. Now, talking about the US, 91% of the students finish their secondary education, but only 48% take up post-secondary, because post-secondary is very costly. The USA, too, offers public education from kindergarten to the end of high school. Their students are also very career-oriented. But imagine if their students studied in China. I am damn sure they would be debt-free, as the loans taken by students in the US are literally as high as $1.7 trillion. Yes, guys, the education is very much expensive. Number 4, language. Ni hao, friends. Do you know what's the official language spoken in China? Well, let me tell you, it's... I can't even pronounce that, and I'm not going to try. What, confused? This is Mandarin Chinese, the official language of China. And what does that statement mean? Don't worry, it just means Mr. Bright is just so bright. Haha, gotcha. Well, friends, Mandarin Chinese are literally 71% of the Chinese population's first language, but you'll be surprised to know that this language consists of 200 dialects. Yep, you heard me right. The majority of the population tend to speak this language, but linguists believe that there are still 297 living languages in China. Now wait a minute, just imagine 70% speaking just Mandarin and the remaining 30% speaking more than 200 languages. Shocking, right? They also managed to speak other languages such as Cantonese, Portuguese, Tibetan, Mongolian, and English. And speaking about English, in the US, you'll also find people speaking like this. Hey yo, what's up, man? But let me clear your misconceptions about English being the US's mother tongue. No, it isn't. The US does not have any actual or any official language. Although the majority of the population, i.e. 300 million people, speak English here, making English an unofficial but kind of official language, you see. But you will also find people speaking Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, and French. Well, I think China has literally outshined and outthrown the US when it comes to speaking languages, because clearly they have more languages and more dialects than the US. Number 5, work life. So friends, can you fall asleep right where you are standing at work? Yes? No? I don't know about you, but my boss would literally bash my head if I did this. But wait, if you are in China, you can fall asleep wherever you feel like, and no one will dare mind. Yes, guys, China has a very unique work culture in the world. The government mandates the offices to work only 8 hours a day, but still, companies usually make their employees work for 11 to 12 hours a day, and employees love doing it as well. Wondering why? Well, if you work even an hour or half an hour extra in China, you are bound to get extra money. Also, in the Chinese culture, you'll see that teamwork is more rewarded and appreciated than doing all the work individually. But the US is just the bang opposite of the Chinese work culture. US employees would literally rather work alone than work in a team. And they too will work 40 hours a week, but they work only 40 hours a week. That is almost half that of China, whose average comes to around 72 hours a week. Phenomenal dedication from these Chinese, right? Number 6, military might. Now the most debatable question ever. If these two super nations, China and the US, were to ever go to war, who would win? So let the war begin. Well, the USA, the country that has 1.3 million people in its military, spends approximately $826 billion on their military power, whereas China, that has almost double the manpower, i.e. 2 million military personnel, spends only $179 billion. Gosh, not only that, when it comes to Air Force equipment, nobody can beat America. Why? Because America has more air units than any other country on Earth, with 2,085 fighters, 967 attack helicopters, 945 transports, and 42 special mission aircraft. And when we look at China's Made in China Air Force equipment, then boy, I don't know how long that will last. But yeah, China does have 3,978 military planes, 1,521 fighters, 1,791 attack aircraft, 364 attack helicopters, and 365 transports. So China, sorry, but you honestly don't have what it takes to beat America in the air. So what about the Navy and the Army? Well, the total naval assets of the U.S. are 502, and surprisingly, China's are 806, while the US has 71 submarines and China has 79. And the nuclear weapons in China are just 260, while in the US, it's a shocking 4,018 weapons. Whoa! Just forget it, China. No chance here of beating America. Also, when it comes to technology in general, the US says, my technology is better, but China says, mine is much better. Yes, friends, China is legit 2 steps ahead of the US when it comes to technology. China is not only 5 to 10 years ahead in mobile communication technology, but it is also ahead in naval technology, genetic technology as well, and health technology by 5 to 10 years. Even when it comes to 5G technology, China is 5 months ahead of the US. There's no doubt as to why China ranks number 2 in technology. But wait a minute, who the hell beats these 2 superpower nations in terms of technology? Any guesses? It's Japan, my dear friends. Also, if we look at China's GDP, it is $13.4 trillion, and the US's GDP is $20.9 trillion, i.e. $7.9 trillion more than China. Voila! And now look at the population. China's population is around 139 crores, as the US's population is only 32.8 crores. And this is exactly where the US lags far, far behind China. So, after watching this video, who do you think is the superpower or supernation in the world? Who do you vote? I have majorly covered all the aspects. Now it's your time to think. Tell me, who, according to you, has won this virtual battle? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have found this video interesting, smash the like button. Want to get brighter with me on content? Then hell yeah, press the subscribe button, guys, and click the bell icon, switching on the always option so that you never miss an update from our end. I'll meet you in another episode of The Brightest, and until then, toodles!